So,
And then,
everybody, thanks for joining me today. This is Vince with Listings to Leads. And I guess this is our first rollout call for you guys, Barry. And it's a good time because we just pushed some new software, some new tools, and new automation on the platform right before NAR. And I just got back from NAR. So I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to show it to you. But before we kind of dive into it, I want to kind of at a high level tell you a little bit of what we do. We create a number of tools automatically. We can sweep your listings automatically. We create a bunch of tools, and those tools are great for capturing leads. So if you have listings, I'm going to show you the tools inside. There are a number of tools for social media, for email, for blogs. We auto upload to YouTube for you. But everything that we're doing is designed to capture a lead, and I'll show you what that is. So really kind of the key is use the tools. We email them to you automatically. Just use them. The great thing about us having this call today is we just turned on some automation so that once you set up your profile, you we post things to your social media for you, and they have lead capture behind that. So let me okay, so that's kind of one half of what we do. The other half of what we do is we create landing pages. And landing pages are kind of like pages that say, what is your home worth, right? And our clients leverage those. Typically, number one place is on Facebook. Their ad here, this is a good example of an ad. And I want to point this out to you. Barry, I'm gonna mute you for a bit because there's a little bit of an echo coming back in. But if you have a question, just go ahead and unmute that. Um, while I was talking, I was just sort of clicking around. And what I want to point out is before you even log in, there's a whole blog section here where we capture kind of the best ideas out of our mastermind group, and I'm going to invite you to the mastermind group, and we put it here. And so you can kind of click through and see what's going on. And what this page is showing is that somebody ran an ad for $117 and got 128 seller leads, and three turned into listings, two of which have already sold. So from $100, $120 spend, they're using our tools, putting it on Facebook and capturing listing leads. How they did that is actually covered in this video down here, right? But just as a FYI, this is exactly what the ad looked like. And I'm going to read it to you really quickly so that you can understand what it is. And I'm going to actually show you how to do this later on in the call. The ad says something very simply: 843 homes sold in Lehigh acres so far this year. The highest was 355. Your home value has changed. Click below to get an instant home value. And that's how you write an ad on Facebook. That's the number one thing our clients are doing if they want more listings. Behind it, they put our tool, and I'm going to show you that tool. But I just want you to get an idea that that's the kind of language that works. And I will show you in a little while on this call how to actually apply that on Facebook. But should you forget what I'm saying right now, you can just scroll down and see 128 seller leads plus three listings. We just sort of collate it there. So before I dive into the system, I'm also going to drive us into our mastermind group. Now, Barry, you are in this group. So my recommendation, I'm assuming you're friends with your colleagues there in that room. Go to this section and add them to this group because there's some really, really valuable information. Our clients, this is a private secret group for our clients only. And in this group, people like Dustin Fox are saying, hey, my highest ROI is using this particular tool. So he's getting a tool. I'll show you where it is. He prints it. He dropped it on 250 houses and I think got 10 listings in 4 months. That is also out in front on this blog somewhere. Yeah, 10 listings in 4 months, right? That's Dustin Fox. And this is where we found out about it. He went into our mastermind group and said, hey guys, I am printing this letter right here and putting it in envelopes and mailing it to 250 homes around the home where I just sold. Okay. And I want to make it clear to you, this letter is created by clicking one button in our system. We pre-write this letter. So it's just one of those tools that I recommend you use if you want to increase your business. All right. And Dustin is telling you exactly what he did with it here. But you'll also notice there's 52 comments coming from a lot of agents who are kind of chiming in and saying, yeah, we do that too. And this is the results that we got. So there's really a lot to learn on that one post, and also a lot to learn in the mastermind group in general. There is something here that was for seller leads. This is Vanessa saying this is the ad she ran for $100 and got 100+ buyer leads. And again, what's great is these clients of ours are telling you exactly what they did. She spent $100 in 3 days with a 25-mile radius. And that's exactly what her ad looked like, right? So she put it there, she boosted it off her business page, and these are just sort of, this is what the lead capture looked like. So what I'm trying to get to here, and these are the settings that she had for capturing the lead, which is on your profile. What I'm trying to get to here is there are more than 50 tools in listings to leads. And you will probably find that an overwhelming idea. The constant thing I hear from realtors is I'm not very tech savvy. And so people get overwhelmed. And what I'm trying to point out is before you even log in, you can scroll down and learn how people are applying our tools. Barry will invite you into the mastermind group, and you can see right here what our clients are saying, from their own, knowledge, what's going on and how they're using our tools. So all that being said, there are a lot of tools, but I want to talk to you about the latest addition to our platform, Listings to Leads. And that is this auto posting right here. So right now I'm logged in as Sandy. Now, Sandy, this is live, your account, so I'm not going to make any changes, but I want everybody to see what this is. Let's see here. Sorry, guys. Let me turn off the updates. So first of all, you got to log in, and up here on the right is your profile. So click here and go to profile, and then go here to auto posting. Now, what you need to do is actually check these two boxes and save. And what that means is when you get a new listing, we're automatically going to sweep it, and we're going to automatically post it to your social media accounts. When the status changes, and I'm going to show you how to change the status, again, post the same listing to your social media accounts. So I recommend you check both of those boxes and click save. Over here on Facebook, there is a button that says connect to Facebook. Now, all of you need to be logged into Facebook before you click that button. Otherwise, that's going to say, hey, log into Facebook. So if you see here, I'm logged into Facebook, right? So now, since I'm logged in, if I went here, and this is the tutorial, this is the instructions page. If I click connect to Facebook, it's going to pull all of my Facebook connections into here, and it's going to show you a little section to say which pages do you want to post to. Now you might have one, you should have at least one business page, but you also might have a couple, and you can auto post to multiple Facebook business pages. And then at that point, the listing will be up on Facebook, and you can boost it from there. Now there's another step you got to take, and this is kind of weird, but I cannot get away around it. Facebook does not want listings to leads kind of creating the content for you for auto posting. They've had some issues with, I don't know, Russians hacking them and all kinds of stuff like that. So there is a step that you have to take, which is click this copy button, which will copy everything here, and paste it in this box and paste it. And then once you've done that, save it. And what it will say is listing status just listed in Cincinnati, for instance. Click below for instant access of photos, blah, blah, blah. And then some word, which is the description, which shows up. And the hashtags that are in here are city, the city where it's in, the status, the agent name, pound real estate. And these are hashtags just to help you get found. Pound realtor, pound realty. And these are just kind of common hashtags that allow people to find you or find your post. So all you got to do is copy this, paste it here, and it'll all look correct. Go through Twitter, same thing. And we want to make sure that you're using those same, just copy and paste. You got to connect to Twitter and you connect to LinkedIn. Now, give me a second. I'm going to pause my screen. Let's see here. Did you have a question there?
I have a question. I have a question. When you have a second.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm just looking for something, so go ahead.
Okay. The question a minute ago was the hashtags. Where do you post those? Copy and paste those to? To the box to the left.
Yeah, give me a second. I'm going to go back there right now. So yes, you are. Let me show my screen again. I think I paused it because I needed to find something. So you're copying here from this box, and you're pasting into this box on the left. We're going to rewrite this because to me it doesn't seem very understandable. It is very simple. Copy here and paste there. We want to make it so that you completely understand without me describing it to you. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right, good.
Can you do that now?
I can't. Yeah, let's see. I will do it now. I'll do it now. Right. Well, I'll copy here. I'm going to right click and paste. And I will save. So in this way, it's saved, but I'm going to actually copy it for all of these things. Save. And I'll copy it and save. Now we're just doing this for Sandy. Okay. So each of you do have to log in to your profile and do this. I'm also going to copy this. It's funny. This went live right before NAR, and I was sitting with Scott, my partner at NAR, and I said, you need to add these hashtags. And it was great that he added them to Facebook, but he didn't add them to Twitter, and he didn't add them. And I'm gonna add them right now, and he didn't add them to LinkedIn. And it may be because he doesn't know that these hashtags actually work on LinkedIn and Twitter. But anyway, those are going to be helpful for you. Just the fact that you put in realtor means that a lot of realtors are going to see this. And if you're marketing a home that you want for sale, you want realtors to see it. So it's going to say real estate, realtor, realty, broker, for sale, house hunting, things like that. These are the only thing that changes is the status. Maybe you have a home that's open house. Maybe it's just listed. Maybe it's, just sold. But these emojis are here. It's going to say just sold in whatever city your home is in, and we're just updating that. So you don't need to do anything once the automation is set. Now, I do want to tell you, you all have to check these two boxes. So Sandy, for you, nothing's going to happen until you check these two boxes, and you go into here and you connect to your Facebook and choose the pages you want to, and you connect to Twitter, and you connect to LinkedIn, okay? I really want all of you to do this because I can tell you our clients generate hundreds of leads every month. And by clients, I mean agents. And they do it by taking the tools that we create and posting them to their social media and sending them out via email. Unfortunately, for a lot of agents, they're so busy, they cannot open the emails that we're sending to them automatically and post them to their social media. So they don't generate hundreds of leads every month. Now with this auto posting, I think it's going to really help you out so that you don't even have to take that step. So to understand what that looks like, I want to open up this page here. This is what will happen if you follow the steps that I just showed you. If you connect your social media to your profile and you turn on auto posting, we're going to send you emails like this. In this case, it's going to Scott, but it's basically saying we have posted your listing to your accounts. And these little buttons here are clickable so that you can see what your ad looks like. And I'm going to click the Twitter one so we can all see it together. And as you can see from that original email, we posted to Facebook and to Twitter and to LinkedIn. Okay. So here it is on Twitter. And that, I think, in one aspect is cool. But there are a lot of companies that'll post things to social media for you. Realtor.com used to auto post to social media, to Facebook for you. What most people found it was a fairly useless exercise. For us at Listings to Leads, we would definitely call it useless because it doesn't capture a lead. And we've just figured if you're going to do anything, or if we're going to do anything for you, there better be lead capture involved on it. And for this, there is, because if somebody sees this, like I see it, we're looking live at Twitter right now. If they're remotely interested, they can click on this. And when you click on this, go ahead.
Is there a way you all can grab their phone numbers too?
Well, let's go through that, but let's do one thing at a time. All right, we'll talk about that in a minute.
Okay.
This right here,
all right.
Since you were asking a question, this is what consumers see on Twitter today. When they click on that, it gets them here. And this is the tool to capture leads. This is an open house. And so the call to action is like, hey, it's time sensitive, so we got a ticking time bomb situation over there on the left, right? Now you're asking about lead capture. And the easiest way to capture a lead is to use this continue with Facebook when you're trying to find buyers. So I'm going to click that right now. And I want you to watch, because in the center of the page, there's going to be a little window pops up and flashes. You see that there popping up. That's us reaching into Facebook. And in this case, grabbing my name and email, which shows in Facebook on my Facebook profile. And it drops me on the single property website that we have always also automatically created for you. So in that aspect, Gary, in that scenario, we captured the name and email address. We did not capture the phone number. Okay? So now let's answer that question of how do I capture phone numbers? So right now, I am inside of what do you call this here? Sandy's account. And there is a section that says preferences, and it says listing lead capture forms, forced registration, enable Facebook registration, show phone field, and then make phone field required. So yes, you can show the phone field, and yes, you can make it required. I don't think it happens as well as you would like to see, and I'll show you that by getting out of this right now and logging into my own, because I want you to understand that process, what that really looks like. When we captured that lead using that Facebook Connect button, which was continue with Facebook, Facebook will not allow us to grab their phone number automatically from their account. They will allow us to get their name and email address, and I just showed you what that kind of process looks like. So now we're logging into my account, and I want to show you just what a tool looks like, right? What that lead capture kind of looks like. So I'm going to go to the listing landing page, and before I go there, I can see it right here. So we were looking at an open house one, and this is just a standard. So I think here, I'm going to edit, advanced settings. I am going to say enable Facebook registration, and I'll put forced registration, and I'm going to make the phone field required. All right. And I'm going to save that because that's kind of what you're asking, like what happened. So I've got that listing. It's been updated. And now you'll notice that there's a connect with Facebook, continue with Facebook button there because I just enabled that. So let's click on the eyeball here and let's look at what that scenario looks like. Now, Barry, hopefully you know you didn't forget. I just enabled capture a phone, right? Make it required. So let's click it and let's watch the flash. And I'm going to click it, and there's this flash is going to go. That's us reaching into Facebook, getting their name and email. Now, while you're requiring a phone number, and maybe you can hear it, my phone is over here beeping because I'm capturing leads. While you required a phone number, I, the consumer, don't want to give you my phone number. So at this point, I am faced here. I could click get the information, but a red message comes up and says, please enter the phone number. So if I want to go any further, I am going to have to give you a phone number. In this case, I'm going to put my phone number in. Somebody could put a fake phone number in, or they could walk away. So I right now, and your first question, if you require a phone number, is Vince, I required phone numbers, and I have a bunch of names and emails and no phone number. And that's because people would rather walk away than give you that phone number. But in this case, I'm giving you the phone number. I'm going to click get the information right now. And my phone is ringing because I got another lead. The page whips around, says thank you. The agent has the phone number. They do have the name and email address. And then we drop them on the automatic single property website that we created for them so that the consumer now has all the data in there, right? So, Barry, do you understand what it is like to require a phone number?
No.
Did that make sense? Or?
You do the force registration.
Yeah,
And then we're setting forced registration.
So we don't have that set now.
Your settings, I don't know exactly how your settings in. I don't think forced registration is set, but forced registration has to do with a single property website. This is a single property website. And this page right here says stay on top of it. And forced registration means I cannot close this. So let's look at that real quickly. And I think because I already captured the lead, it doesn't show me. So I'm going to go to tools and go to single property website. And let's look at the single property website. Forced registration, let's see it. Follow this home. You see how it says continue with Facebook or use your email? There is no way to close this box. I either have to click continue with Facebook, which gets their name and email, or use the email instead. And if I click that, you can see I can. It's got these fields. Again, I can't close it. So people, this is a good way of having your settings is forced registration. Notice I can't click over here and make this thing go away. There's no X inside of here. So you'll want to check your profile and see how those settings are. I don't typically recommend that you force a phone number. We see lead gen drop off completely when people do that, but you do now know how to make that happen. I will say this, and this is probably a slightly more important thing. When you're going for seller leads, or I'm sorry, when you're going for buyer leads, continue with Facebook is really, really powerful. People click that so fast and you get a list of names and emails. If you require a phone number, you won't likely get those all the time, but you can certainly require a phone number. When you're trying to capture listing leads, meaning using our home valuation pages, you want to use this format instead. Don't have them use continue with Facebook. Ask them to write their email and name there. That works better when you're trying to get listings. Did you have a question, Barry?
No, I'm good.
Okay. So we were inside of we're inside my account somewhere. Let's kind of figure that where I'm lost here. So what we were really trying to wrap up and get our arms around is this auto posting. So we focus on getting not just posting a listing one time. We have different call to actions at every status. If your home is just listed, the call to action is going to be different from if it's an open house. It's going to be different if the home is pending, and it's definitely going to be different when it's sold. So make sure you're getting the settings out on every status, and let's go through the statuses and kind of look at that together so we know what's going to happen. What are those tools going to look like at those different times? Now, the way you control statuses is you can put it right here. All kinds of statuses are here. For some MLSs, and I don't know about yours, they don't send us the pending or sold. So you want to log in and make sure if something goes pending or if you've got an open house that you're putting it inside the system, that you're physically going in. So let's look at this home, which right now is active. Click on the task list, and this is really where you should be getting involved and getting into the task list. The top task on the right here is social media for your social media. And there are two tools. If you click that green button, there are two tools that we show you: the listing landing page and the single property website. Now, I've shown you both, but I want you to understand we represent the home in with many different tools. But when you're posting to your social media, I actually recommend, when you're looking for buyers, if a home is coming soon, just listed, open house, or active, that you use a listing landing page. It looks just like this. If you're pending or just sold, I recommend you use a single property website, which looks a little more like this. Now, I'll show you that in a minute, but let's look at the listing landing page. And just so you know, you can choose which one you want, and you can say, oh, I want to share it right here. Now, this is how we've been doing this in the past couple years. You could log in and you could click share to Facebook. And I click share to Facebook right now because maybe I want to put it out on my, in this case, on my timeline, but I could also put it to a page I manage. And a page you manage would probably be your business page or community page. And then whatever you write here, you know, great home, check it out. You know, you're going to write something better than that. I'm just trying to save time here. You post this to Facebook and it goes to Facebook. Now, what I've been showing you for the past 10 minutes is that we're auto posting to Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn for you. So you don't have to do this step that I'm showing you right now. But I just want you to know it's there just in case you need it. Maybe you made a change and you want to get it out and something like that, right? So I'm going to close that and leave that page. And I'm going to go back here. And basically what we would tell you in the past is share to all your social media and then check this box here to save the date so that you know that I did that day. We also have something for seller social media, which means we take the same exact tool and we give it to you in a format to give to your seller and have them put it on their social media, on their Facebook. And I'll show you why in a moment. But then there's an e-flyer for sphere of influence for the seller. So you can forward that e-flyer to them, say, hey, share that with your friends. And then there's this print flyer for nearby homeowners, right? And I'm going to click that and open it up because that is the letter. If you recognize this, I was showing you something where a client had taken this, printed it, and mailed it to 250 clients, or not clients, but neighbors of the home he was selling. This is the article right here, Dustin Fox. And he got 10 listings in 4 months from this one mail, right? So that tool that he mailed is this tool right here. And this tool we create for every status, for every listing. You may not mail it to 250 homes every status change, but you might want to be doing something like that. I talked to somebody who said for every status change, they take it to 20 homes and they drop it off by hand. They'll door knock, and if they're not there, they just leave it behind. But as I bring it up because it's one of those tools and listings to leads that I think is not very sexy. It's not super high tech or anything, but boy, it has incredible results. So I want you to know that that's there. If you're blogging, there's tools for blogging. I recommend that you post to Craigslist, and how you do that is under here. Instagram, you don't have to worry about because we actually put it up automatically on Instagram, or Facebook will push it to Instagram if you're running ads out there, and then YouTube. If you've got your YouTube connected on your profile, will auto post to YouTube for you. So I want to grab this one here because I think the seller social media is one of those tools that we create. We send it to agents. They don't have no idea what the heck we're talking about, and they just ignore it. And you leave a lot of money basically on the table if you ignore that. You'll get an email, and at the bottom will be this little statement, and it has a red line above it and on the bottom. All you need to do is copy that statement and get it to the homeowner, the person you're selling the home for, and say to them, let me see, hey, just call them for 5 seconds and say, hey, this is Sandy at Turner Realty. I just sent you something. Would you take that and paste it on your wall, on your Facebook wall? Just paste it on your status. And that means that what that client, sorry guys. Wow. What your client, what that homeowner needs to do is paste it on their Facebook wall, right? Now, while I sneezed and I'm talking to you, I just did that at the same time. And when you click share, this is all the homeowner needs to do. And we'll give it a second to sort of bake there. It's talking about the home. It's for sale in haiku, right? But it's also saying our home is for sale, and Sandy at Turner Real Estate, it created this and many other tools being used to market our home. So what we're doing here is creating tools to market a listing, but also to get your name in front of your clients, friends, and family. Your clients, friends, and family and colleagues are typically the people you're hoping to get a referral from or a referral for. And it's great to use these tools, get your client to put them on their wall so that you can say, hey, in this case, Vincent Meza is my friend's realtor. And when somebody clicks on it, well, it pops up one of our tools. And as you probably can recall, that tool is designed to capture a lead for you and send it to you. And I'm just going to say this because there's so many companies out there, and coming from NAR, this seemed to be a fairly big topic. When we're capturing a lead on any of our tools, those leads go to the real estate agent, whoever this is courtesy of. In this case, it's me, right? What we're not doing is things like what Zillow is doing and other companies, which is we're selling these leads to all kinds of people who are paying for zip codes or nothing like, or anything like that. We're not doing that. And I want you to be clear, just in case you're not, because I spoke to just, I don't know how many hundreds of people this week. And that was a question. It was like, hey, if I'm using this, who's getting the leads? You only get the leads, okay? So we looked at a property. This is one that's open house. Notice I'm going to click follow this home. The open house lead capture has something like this. It has something like there's a ticking situation. It's time sensitive. I want to go in and I want to go look at another listing, but this time I want to look at one that's sold. And just sold, I mentioned earlier, I've got a property here that's sold. You would go to your task list, and I recommend you leverage the single property website on your social media. So on my social media, I click this green button. And earlier I said, don't use a listing landing page when it's pending or sold. Use the single property website. And I'm going to show it to you right here by clicking this eyeball. I actually like this. There are two ways to present a home that's sold, with a listing landing page, or in this case, a single property website. And the reason I like this one is people that look at sold properties typically own a property and they're thinking about selling. And the call to action that automatically pops up is not a ticking time bomb, right? It's not saying, hey, this is just listed. It's saying that home is sold, and that is going to affect your home value. So if you want to get your home value instantly and free, type your address right here. So our just sold advertising and our pending advertising is really effective when you use the single property websites to get you more listings. That is the point of it. Now I'm going to close this and I'm going to open up the seller social media one, the one I showed you earlier that I said is ignored by most agents. I definitely don't recommend you ignore this. I recommend that you open the email that we send you. You copy it, just like I'm doing here. You send it to your client, and you say, "Hey, dear, client, now that I sold your home, would you mind putting this on your Facebook for me?" Right? And let's do this. Do it one more time. And it says, "Hey, this home just sold." Again, it was just copy and paste for the homeowner, but I want you to understand what's at the top. It says, "Our home is sold, and we want to recommend Vincent at L2L Realty for doing an excellent job. Here's his email address and phone number." So this is basically a pre-written testimonial that is automatically emailed to you that you can either use or ignore. But if you use it and your client pulls it up, your client, who probably has 2 or 3 or 4 or 500 other friends on Facebook who have no idea who you are going to see that you are their realtor, and that there's your phone number and email address, and then that they can now click on this if they're remotely interested, and this single property website pops up, right? And as you recall, in just a few seconds, that call to action to help them get a home value is embedded in it. Yes, Barry? Did you have questions?
We have lost our audio to our TV
No kidding.
for some reason.
Let me see. Maybe there's
I can only hear you through my computer.
You can't hear me, huh? It doesn't look like I'm muted. Barry, in the audio section, do you have the ability to change it from computer audio to... Or can you hear me now?
I can hear you on my computer. It was working on the TV, but it quit all of a sudden.
Okay. Do you have a speakerphone in that office where you're sitting?
Say it again.
Do you have a speakerphone, like a conference call phone?
Speakerphone?
No. Okay. Because I haven't changed anything here. It sounds like your computer, maybe you bumped into something or into a speaker line.
Hold on one second, so I can get figured out here.
Yeah. I can keep talking to help you, but yeah, I was just sort of talking. I didn't move it anywhere. So
how about now?
Let me talk. Can you hear me better now?
No. We've got Apple TV chosen.
Yeah. I don't know about that. Something changed in your side. Is it any better? I'm going to just kind of keep talking here. Sorry about that. So nothing changed on your side?
No, it was just sitting there and it just quit.
Okay, and you can't turn it up on your computer?
I'm maxed out now. All I can do is try to continue, I guess.
Okay. I'll try to speak up a little bit so that you can hear me. And what I'll tell you is this. Take advantage of the auto posting and take advantage of all these statuses. That was pretty cool. Yeah.
That was cool.
Take advantage of all the statuses. They are all designed to capture leads for you. Now I'm going to show you one more thing in case your MLS doesn't send it to us. Click edit when you have an open house. And when you have an open house, click here, save the date. I'm going to put it for Saturday, and click save. this takes about a half minute for it to save. Don't worry about that. It's because we're touching about 8 different tools when you save that open house. We are going to email those tools to you in one email. But you could also go right to the task list and kind of work through the task list and get the things out. I want to point out a couple things on the open house because that is a really powerful set of tools. And it's the one that many agents use, and so I want you to see this. If we go to the task list, there is something for your social media. And you can see it looks just like this. Now notice it's saying it was auto posted on the 30th. You can actually, if you have the auto posting, it would automatically post to your Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. And I recommend that you set that up. But you can easily, just so you know, just so you look at it, it looks like that. It is designed to capture leads for you. Okay. The other tools in here that are very important are social media for your seller. And I've showed you that a couple times, but let's just look at it together real quick. Because it's basically saying we have an open house on Saturday and the agent from your office is got this and many other tools. And then it's got a big picture. And then of course, if it's on Facebook, somebody clicks on it, this page pops up and that captures leads for you. The other thing which I showed you a little bit earlier, it's a print flyer for nearby homeowners. Definitely do not ignore this because the open house flyer gets a lot of listing information because you're basically saying, I'm selling a house in your neighborhood. You can find out more here, or you can get your home value right here. Okay, and that home value page is designed to capture listing leads for you. So that's a useful tool. And another one, which again, we're going to send it all to you in one email, is a sign-in feedback form. And if you're at a open house, try to get their Wi-Fi and bring your laptop and open this up. And the number one thing you should say as people walk in is, we would love your feedback on this house. Would you mind just filling that out after you leave? And there's a couple of simple questions, right? Did it present well? Needs work? Not well? Want to know if price changes? Yes, no. Name, email, and are you working with an agent? Not a lot of questions. It works a lot better than just putting a pad of paper there. People like to kind of click through this. You obviously get a lead. They get a mobile optimized single property website for that home. So they have information about the open house as soon as they leave, as soon as they use that feedback form. So that's a toolkit that we automatically send to you, or you can just go right here and go through the tools and you'd be done in just probably 5 minutes. So that's the kinds of things we do for listings. I want to point out the other half of our platform, which is landing pages. And Barry, I don't know, can you guys hear me still? And 2, have any of you run ads on Facebook, and are you using our landing pages?
We can hear you.
You can hear me. Are any of you running ads on Facebook, and are you using our landing pages? No? I'm in...
Yes.
Oh,
yes, we are.
Yes, you are.
Some of us are.
Okay, so I'm going to create one real quickly here. And because this is the #1 landing page for capturing listing leads. And I hope that all of you have probably 4 or 5 of these landing pages, okay? Each of you, and that you're running ads with them. So you click here and you go to Property Valuation Plus. What's the #1 city where you guys are creating your business? What town is that?
Somerset.
I'm just going to type it.
Yeah, SOMERSET.
Yeah. And you guys each need to do this. You type in the name of the town and you click add location. Now, what I was saying is you want to create one of these property valuation pluses for every one of those towns where you're building, where you want to build your business, right? There's probably, my guess is 3, 4, 5 different towns. And the way, once you click save, we drop you on the editor. And there's really only there's probably, actually, there's now two things. But the one thing you want to do is upload a background image. We have this generic image here, which we bought years back. It has a coffee cup and a computer, and you kind of think everybody has a coffee cup and a computer and a phone, and that this would sort of, resonate with people. It doesn't. It has zero effect if you post it like that. So click this upload an image here and get yourself a nice picture of Somerset, right? Maybe of the downtown street or some major landmark, and put that in there. This picture is a picture I took in Hawaii, so it's probably not going to look like Somerset, so you don't want to use something like that. But I am going to show you something just to help you, because I've never been to Somerset. I set up the offices out around the country, and I have this call all the time. And when I set up Coldwell Banker in Summit, New Jersey, they told me that this picture here is the #1 picture in the background of their page that helps them get listing leads. So what I'm trying to convey to you is that it's sometimes what you're trying to do is make people comfortable to say, I know your neighborhood. Not that I have $1 million property that I want you to see in the background. And for some reason, it's just taking a little bit longer. I'm going to click on view and see if it's got that there. Yeah, it's got it there. So it kind of looks like this, right? You're going to have some other picture that resonates for your local community that Somerset. It's not this waterfall. But once you've got that background picture, there is another new thing that we added just 2 weeks ago, and it's under advanced options, and it also says follow up. And if you click on follow up, what we do is every month we send that consumer an updated value of their home from your email address. And you don't have to you don't have to do anything. You just got to click here and go send that follow-up email the first week of every month. And every month we kind of slowly drip on those seller leads. Does that make sense what I'm saying there? You got that?
Yes.
Okay. I do want to click on lead form. Let's see here. There is something that I want to make sure. Form fields. I said this earlier, but I want to kind of make it very clear for you now. There's a box here that says Facebook registration. Don't use Facebook registration when you're trying to capture seller leads. You want to give them a form to put their name and email address in there. You can, and that's basically it. That's all I really wanted to say there. That's page 1. Page 2, let's see here. Can't figure out how to get to page 2. Or maybe there's not a page 2, but there are also advanced options. The only thing I really am concerned that you're using here is that follow-up. There's also something cool here that a lot of agents like, which is the home value header. And you can add a new header, but basically it looks like this. You might find articles in your local online newspapers that you like. Maybe they're talking about home sales. Maybe they're talking about an important new area. But whatever they're talking about, you might find that to be an interesting article that you want to share. In this case, we would ask you to embed that inside and use our home value letter. And you notice that there was a bit of a delay, and I was being offered my home value right there. But I can now read this article, and right up here at the top is a place where I can click and get my instant home value for Somerset, right? So if you find that you've got interesting articles that you want to get out on social media or out on the internet in general, I recommend that you use this. You create a new value header, you paste in the link of the website that you're using, you title it with, I don't know, modifications or improvements you can make for selling your home, type in a description, and then type in these words down here, which is, sell your home fast, or all together. Whatever it is, it actually isn't a big difference, but you do need to type something in there. And then that will create that tool that article underneath a home value header. So it's just another way of capturing a seller lead. So I want to run through this, assuming that we've got this page ready, we've got our automation follow-up set up. I want to put this on Facebook, and it sounds like you do know how to run ads, but I want to run an ad anyway, because if you get in our mastermind group, you're going to find a lot of people have said, I need help. I've run ads, I got good results in this case, but you can have it in a CRM. But you will hear people say, I've run ads and I got a bunch of clicks and I got no leads. What's the problem? So I'm going to run an ad kind of on the quick side, and I'm going to tell you the pitfalls of the do's and don'ts of how to do that so that you get seller lead. So we always go up here to this triangle and start with creating an ad. And it takes us to the page where it's saying, what is your objective, right? And your objective is, what are you trying to do? And there are a lot of companies out there. There are a lot of really smart folks, and there are a lot of gurus that do Facebook ads. And I don't know where you learn to run ads, but if it's from one of them, they could be telling you all kinds of fun things. And what I want you to know is, if you're using our tools and if you want the most amount of seller leads, that you do it just the way that I am describing right now. And the one thing that you should always be doing is using the traffic objective. And that means that you're running an ad that will be seen by people, but when they click on it, it's going to drive them to another web page. You're going to drive traffic somewhere. Now, you should create a name. I'm going to call it Value Somerset and today's date. Nobody sees that but you. But you should be running at least 2 ads every week if you're a realtor, in my mind, on Facebook. Okay. And I will describe what that looks like, what that budget kind of looks like. But I tell that to every realtor I speak to, especially if they're a brand new realtor. If you're a realtor that has multiple listings, I will tell you something different. But you can go right down to the audience and you can type in Somerset. Is that Kentucky? What state are you in, guys? Barry? Let's say it is Somerset, New Jersey.
Kentucky.
It is Kentucky. That's what I thought. Yeah.
Oh, Kentucky.
Okay. So notice when I click Somerset, Kentucky, it dropped me on a map and it said 25 miles out. If I was marketing an open house or just listed or just sold, I might want people 25 miles away to know that I sold a home or that I have an open house. But because this page only talks about Somerset, you want to change this to current city only, which is Somerset. You also want to change this to people who live in this location. And that means that they've got to live in that town to see that page. You probably don't want 18-year-olds looking at it, so choose your bottom age. You could exclude people like realtors if you don't want other people looking at it. If it's an open house, you probably want realtors to look at it, okay? But from there, you go down, and this area right here, placements, is the place where most people make a mistake. And that's because we don't know what placements means. And they recommend that we use their automatic placements. But when you're trying to capture seller leads, I recommend that you always turn off mobile. Now, this brings up a question of listings to leads.
Repeat that, please.
Yep. When you are running for a
always use mobile.
Do not use mobile. Turn off mobile when you're trying to capture listing leads.
Do not.
Okay? That's the number one mistake agents make.
Okay.
They just ignore this because they don't know what it means. This page is actually mobile optimized. All of our tools are mobile optimized, including our virtual tours. But we are not mobile optimized to go through multiple pages on a smartphone. We just don't find that a comfortable exercise. But what ends up happening is people click on the ad and then they're kind of got this stuff up in their face and they're like, oh, no, I don't want to do that. So For capturing listing leads, desktop is the best. Turn off the right column. Right column is over on the right side of Facebook. I don't think that does anything too much for you. And then from there, you set your budget. I recommend that you always change it to lifetime budget. And the reason I make that that recommendation is that we spoke with Facebook. We run a lot of ads for a lot of clients and across the country, hundreds every day. And they said that lifetime budget means that they will drop your money at the most opportune time. Now, it doesn't make any sense that lifetime budget means that. But let's just say we wanted to run an ad for 30 bucks. And if I did lifetime budget, they would drop the money when the most amount of people are there. When we're running a seller ad, I recommend you run your ad starting on Friday and ending it on Monday. So in this case, it's a 3-day ad. So that roughly boils out to 10 bucks a day, right? And what we don't know, and a question that comes up every once in a while, is when are most people on Facebook? When should I have my money on Facebook? And I actually don't know the answer to that. But Facebook does. And then if you use lifetime budget, they place your money when the highest traffic time is. Oddly enough, I've heard this a few times, that the most amount of seller leads occur between 4 and 7 a.m., 4 and 8 a.m. on a Sunday morning. That seems to be the time when people are just sitting quietly and looking at their computer, and then they're presented with an ad like that, and they respond to it. So that might not be the case in your area, but if you use lifetime budget, they will put it when the most amount of traffic is there. Now I'm going to click on continue. And from here, you've all run ads, so you're not going to have, who knows what they're going to point you to. I recommend always using single image ad. Choose the business page that you want. And then click on down here, links. What's your website URL? What are we driving the traffic to? And we're driving the traffic to this page. So I'm going to copy that, put it here. Why did it not go? There it goes. And click that little red flag there. And then that pushes the page in there. Now it says, what is your Somerset? That doesn't make any sense. I'm going to say free Somerset home values. Whatever I type on the left shows up under the picture on the right. Recent home sales affected your home value. That's true, but it's not really the most effective line. The most effective line is one that I read to you at the very beginning of the call, and it sounds something like 40 homes sold in Somerset last month. And the high was whatever, right? This line here works for everybody. Click here to get your automated online home value in less than 15 seconds. That's a loaded statement there, free, right? This is like big marketing. Online automated home value is code for I don't have to talk to you. Less than 15 seconds is great for all of us that are ADD and don't want to have to wait for something. 15 seconds I can handle. And free is free, and people love marketing, or they love free when in responding to marketing. So that line you should always be using. And from this point here, you're kind of done. Certify that you're compliant with their ad, rules, which in the way that I just did it, you're totally compliant. And then click confirm. And you probably know this, but what that's going to tell you is we're going to review this or Facebook will review it for 15 minutes or so, and then they'll make it live. And at the end of the ad, in this case on Monday, you're going to get a message that says, congratulations, you succeeded in running an ad on Facebook. What that means is you succeeded in spending money on Facebook. It doesn't mean you succeeded in capturing leads. And so I want to repeat the number one thing that doesn't work when you are trying to capture seller leads. Either your picture in the background was not compelling, and you'll know this because they're going to tell you on that message, you got a reach of X number of people. It may be hundreds of people. It'll probably be thousands of people. That means how many people actually saw the ad. So if you've got a reach of 50, you've got a really tight funnel, and that was probably a mistake. So your reach should be a couple thousand people. If you got clicks,
A couple thousand.
yeah, a couple thousand, and to show you that, let's click over here on ad set. They kind of give you an idea of, excuse me, give me a second here. We'll go back there. You see that reach up there? It's this little bar here. Your estimated daily reach for this ad is between 250 and 1200. So let's say it lands on around 700 a day. So that would be, you know, roughly 3,000 people should see that. It's a 3-day ad. So maybe around 2,000 people would see that. That should be your reach, and that's the first number they give you. They also give you the next line is website clicks. And website clicks means, now this is a big deal. If you got 5 clicks, it means that there was something not compelling about this. I wasn't motivated by the language that I wrote here, or I wasn't motivated by that photograph that you put there. Nobody clicked on it. But probably the more common thing is I got 100 clicks. Facebook told me I got 100 clicks on my ad, but I got 1 lead, or I got 2 leads. What was the problem? The problem was placements. That ad showed up on mobile. People were interested because they liked what you had to say and they liked your photograph, but you had it on mobile, and then when that page opened up on mobile, they freaked out because they didn't want to like fill out a form. The whole value of the page kind of disappeared. And so that's why we say put it on desktop only. So that's kind of it for those, you know, for running on seller ads. I think if you're already familiar on running ads for properties, we're going to make it a lot easier if you turn on your automated postings, and we'll post it to Facebook, and you can just boost it from there, right? Or you can run an ad similarly to the way that I ran it there. Barry, are there any questions for me?
Yes. The IDX feed coming over from our MLS, how long does that normally take?
Usually 24 to 48 hours. Let me also kind of dive a little bit deeper in that answer. Let me find my way back into my account first. Okay, I think we go here. Go back here. The way we do that is you put it in your MLS, and then we use a company called ListHub. We're a national partner of ListHub. They sweep your listings from your MLS and deliver them to us. Okay? And we do that 3 times a day. And come on, where am I, guys? There we go. But in order for that to work, you need to make sure your profile is set up properly. So I'm going to go to my profile right now. And down on the details is a section called MLS details. And there's an MLS email.
Okay.
And there is a data feed participant ID. We need both of those on your agent profiles to pull your listings. So Barry, your listings, they should be coming, like I said, every 12 to 24 hours. If you've got an agent that's listings aren't pulling in, we want to make sure that those 2 things are there, that there's an MLS email and a data feed participant ID. If they're not there, I recommend...
How do I get the data?
Yeah. I recommend you go to support and you say, hey, I'm missing can you connect me to List Hub? That's all you got to say. Log in as the agent, or if you're logged in as the office, say, would you connect Stacy's account to her List Hub? And then we can go in and look and find her data feed participant ID. I also want to point out that you might have a email address that you're using as your primary, which is maybe barry@turnerrealtygroup.com. But you might have been a realtor for many years and you've got a totally different email address that is on your profile in your MLS. That MLS email right there in this section needs to match what's inside of your MLS. So you can either go look at what's there and update it, and put your Turner Realty email address in there. Just make sure they match. But you can easily just go to support and say, hey, please connect that agent to List Hub. And whatever is there, we'll put in there. Does that make sense, Barry?
Okay.
Okay.
It does.
Okay. I'm going to just show you a couple of other cool things, and then I'll let you go. If any of you are collecting reviews on Zillow, on the listings page is a client review website. And this is a really great tool because you can set it up on your profile to show Zillow reviews. And then we create a tool that looks like this that has all your reviews in the center and all of your listings on the right. Now, if somebody clicks on a listing, it opens up a single property website, and that is designed to capture leads for you, right? You know that. We also have your favorite lead generation links over here on the left. I'll show you where you can control those. But what I want you to know is that if you get a review on Zillow, you should copy this link and go to your Facebook page. I'll go over to mine. And you should say, tag your client, right? And in this case, I'm going to tag Scott. And I'm going to say, Scott, tag the client like I did. Thanks for that great review, right? And then, sugarcoat that, enjoy your new home and wonderful working with you, all that great stuff. When I post this and I tagged my client, now this shows up and all of my clients see that all of Scott's friends rather, and family and colleagues, they all see that I was their realtor and they gave me a great review. If you have a review happening on Zillow, that's actually a good thing. People will look around there. But now we're telling all of your clients, friends, and family and colleagues that one, you were their realtor, and two, you got a great review. If they click on this, it opens up this page, which shows all of your reviews. And it also has all of your listings out here, right? So if they're interested in property, they're going to see this pending home for sale, and they can have this page automatically pop up and says, hey, when that is sold, it's going to affect your home value. Get your home value free here. So that's just one of those tools that's kind of inside of our system. Another thing that I really like, that our clients really like, is buried on your profile. And it is called a lead gen signature. This is my lead gen signature here. It has a link for what is my home value, a link for my reviews, which I just showed you what that looked like, and also my favorite lead generation links here. I live in Lafayette, so Lafayette Homes is a big link that I want everybody to see. Search all homes. What is your home worth? And since Lafayette Homes under 500 grand fly off the shelf here, I want that link there too. And those are pointing to my website. Now I can copy this for email here and embed it in my Gmail, in my Outlook, and my AOL, whatever I'm using for email. This can be embedded in that so that every time I send out an email, there is a link that will drive people to whatever lead capture forms I want. This is my Lafayette home value page, right? So I definitely want to have that out as many times as possible. Since we're talking about lead links, there is a section up here called lead links. And you want to probably maximize those. You want to use the best lead links for your area, right? For your whatever is your core area. You'll notice that I have a few that are checked here, and whatever is checked, those become the default links that are used in things like this client review site and also in my lead gen signature bar. So that's kind of it. That's a lot of information there, guys. Thank you for sitting with me for an hour and listening to me yammer on. I will, Barry, I do want to repeat, and I hope you do this like as soon as we get off. Log into your Facebook and invite all of your agents into that group. Either myself or somebody in our support team will confirm that, and we'll get them in. There is a section right here on Facebook advertising.
Okay.
Get them in there. You know, get people to understand how to get that seller landing page out on Facebook. And we do have live training 3 times a week. So if you want a little refresher, get on that call with us. Barry, I'm sorry I interrupted you. How can I? Any questions?
No questions right now. Anybody got anything? Nope. I think our head's hurting.
I'm sure. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to get this call up online, and I'll get this link to you, and just make sure and get your team inside our mastermind group, Barry. And if you've got a question, the fastest way for an answer, well, sometimes it's actually asking the mastermind group, but this support page, put your question right here in this box. All 3 of our support people watch this, and they'll see that it's from your account, and they'll help you as soon as possible. Barry, thanks for having your team join me today.
Thank you. Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
I had heard letters.
Thanks.